Hey guys, Pete Mundo with you on HeartlandCollegeSports.com. A new Sunday feature wrapping up the Big 12 weekend in 5 minutes. We'll spend 1 minute on each game and go from there. Once again, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel at Heartland College Sports. All right, we'll start with the first game, Baylor at Kansas. I got to be honest, didn't watch a minute of the game. Not a single minute of this game. I'm sorry. I know I'm a Big 12 nerd. You can sit here and say, well, Pete, you cover the Big 12. You're supposed to be watching every Big 12 game. I don't watch games when the teams are a combined 1-15. I'm sorry I'm not doing it. I have better things to do with my time. I'm not a goddamn loser. I'm not. So I didn't watch the game. Can't tell you one thing about it. Looks like Charlie Brewer got things going. And that Kansas defensive line, which I thought was going to be pretty good, is still a disaster. And David Beatty, man, I was defending this guy a month and a half ago. It's getting hard to do that. This program is in shambles and is a freaking mess. All right, next game, the one I watched, Kansas State at Texas Tech. Skylar Thompson's got something here for the Wildcats. Alex Delton couldn't throw the ball. That was really the downside of Delton. He could run, but once teams started locking down on the running game, Alex Delton was not that useful. Thompson came in after Delton got injured, did a nice job, and led the team to victory in overtime. I would ride Thompson the rest of the way to see what this team is all about under him. Meantime, for Texas Tech, Cliff Kingsbury, how does this guy not go for it? You got 42 seconds left in regulation, and you're playing for overtime when you're known for your offense and your defense stinks. I'm sorry. It's getting harder to defend Cliff Kingsbury each and every week. He's now lost 4 straight games. And talk about another program that's not in good shape right now. It's Cliff Kingsbury's. Iowa State goes on the road, down 20-3 at halftime, loses to West Virginia 20-16. It was bound to happen. I thought the Cyclones would win this game because I thought the West Virginia defense wasn't that good. If you told me before the game West Virginia would score 20 points, I'd say great. Iowa State wins by 7 to 10 points. That's how little respect I had for this West Virginia defense. And it's more so about the Iowa State offense, which Matt Campbell admitted after the game, we're not going to go out there and score 40-plus points. That's not who we are. We know that. So the defense really locked down in the second half, but the first half it was not great. The big play on the opening drive to Karoon White, and from there it was all Mountaineers. Meantime, you look at Bedlam. What a game in Stillwater on Saturday. That was the kind of matchup that if you weren't watching that, you have no pulse. If you didn't enjoy that game, the knocker is going to say, well, it's the Big 12, nobody plays defense. The defenses aren't great. They're mediocre defenses, but I'm sorry. These are 2 of the best offenses in America when you look at all the skill position players. I read a report that said there were 25 scouts on hand for this game. I'm pretty sure they weren't watching the defensive backs. That's not what they were looking at. There is so much skill and talent on the offensive side of the ball for both these 2 teams. It was fun. The referees were mediocre. Both teams got hosed at different points in the game. I thought Oklahoma State was going to win after that late interception from Baker Mayfield. But now Oklahoma holds them off. Mayfield is the leader in the clubhouse for the Heisman Trophy, and it sets up for a fantastic Week 11 in the Big 12 next weekend in Norman against TCU. Now the final game, speaking of TCU and Texas, one word, ugly. 17-7 for most of that second half, and it felt like it was 30-7. Texas had, 9 rushing yards on the night. It's not all Tim Beck's fault, but my goodness, he is far from original or creative with this offense. And I know Shane Buechele is kind of banged up, but you're running this guy, you're running Buechele, who's already hurt. You can't play Ellinger. You would then go to Gerard Hurd. What is he thinking sometimes? I don't get it. Ohio State fans couldn't stand Beck, and now Texas fans pretty much feel the same way. And TCU took care of business. The defense is outstanding, but this was just a boring and really difficult game to watch. It was. There you have it, the 5-minute recap of this week in the Big 12. I'm Pete Mundo, HeartlandCollegeSports.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube page. We're going to be doing a lot more videos coming up over the next few weeks. HeartlandCollegeSports.com. We'll talk to you this week. We'll have previews of every game in the Big 12 coming up midweek.